I'm ready to put the hole in here to put this stud on. There's a screw that goes on the back side and the stud goes on the front. I'm going to get my hole punch here. I've marked it with a little dot where I want the hole. Screw can go in from the back side. And it needs a little bit of Loctite. I've got some Loctite blue 242. Just a dab on the screw, not much. I'll keep it from backing off later on. I'm going to tighten it down with the screwdriver. I'm going to use this glove to get a better grip on the stud. Okay. You get a better idea what it's going to look like. I think the next thing here is to glue it on here. So the next thing I'm going to do is put it on here like I think it should be, and probably trace around it with a pencil so I can put some glue on there, some rubber cement. I've been using this Elmer's Craft Bond rubber cement. I need to go ahead and make the stitch marks around this as well, so I'm going to do that now. Next thing I'm going to do is place this on here and mark around it with a pencil, so I know where to put the glue. If you can see that mark. While I was off camera, I went ahead and put some marks in the back of this too for stitching. I put the stitching marks around the perimeter, then I also made an X in the center. Okay, I'm ready to apply some glue to both sides of this so I can put it on. As I've shown in the past, you need to put a couple coats of this on and let it dry. Okay, there's the first coat on that surface. This doesn't have to go right up to the pencil mark, but it needs to be close. Just something so that the leather will adhere while you're making the holes and sewing it on. Okay, this part is probably ready for a second coat. So I'll go ahead and put a second coat on both of these surfaces and let it dry and then come back. This is dry enough now to put on this front piece. You have to line it carefully because it sticks and it's hard to pull back off. I'll get started here at the bottom so that it's about where it should be. I can use those lines I made to put the glue on with to help position it. Okay. I think before I start stitching or making holes in this one, I'm going to go ahead and put some of that sealer on this surface too, because this black will still rub off, so I'll go ahead and do that. Of course, I'll have to let it dry again. Go ahead and put another light coat on this, the brown part as well. I like to rub this in until it gets an even coat. It kind of runs at first, and you can see it doesn't cover real good, but once it starts to dry a little bit, it makes it nice and even. That's getting close right there. I don't know if you can see that. And then once you get an even coat, you can just let it dry. This part's almost dry from putting on the sealer. I'm going to go ahead and mark where I want the belt loop on the back and glue it as well. That way the glue will temporarily hold it until I get it stitched on. Okay, I'll apply the glue to this and then come back. The belt loop is now glued on, and this is glued on, so the next step is to go ahead and drill the holes, or make holes for the stitching. So I'm going to go out to my little drill press and drill them. I may have to do something different on this since it's curved. Okay, I'm ready to start drilling the holes for the thread. I'm going to drill a hole where each one of those little dents is that I made earlier. Okay, I'll finish this up and come back. Okay, the holes are drilled in this part. Now I have to figure out how to do this part. To do these curved surfaces, I'm just doing this freehand. I've got a little block of wood underneath here, and I'm raising this up into the drill rather than using the drill press handle. That seems to work pretty good. Well, it took some doing, but I've got all the holes made for the stitching to go into. I'm ready to start stitching. I'm going to stitch the belt loop on first, the back part. Once I get that on, then I can glue this down and get ready to stitch the last part of the belt loop on. So I've got my heavy thread here. I need to get it waxed with this beeswax again, especially on the ends. This helps it slide through, but it also helps it's kind of slightly sticky when when you tighten down. It helps the thread stick in the holes when you cinch it down. And the reason I like to get a lot on the ends is so that I can flatten out the very end of it. It kind of sticks together so I can get it through the eye of the needle. You can see how I kind of flattened that thread out. I don't know if you can see that. Because it's very difficult to get through this eye because the thread's so big. There. Just fold it over. Well, that one didn't work too good. Let's try it again. There. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start stitching here. As before, each needle goes through the same hole twice in opposite directions. And after I put a stitch in, I kind of tighten it up. And that's what it looks like. Okay, so I'll go ahead and finish this up and then come back. I finished stitching the back section. I'm getting ready to cut off the thread and melt it with a lighter to seal it off. It'll keep it from unfraying. Okay, now I can glue this down to get ready to sew the bottom portion on.